I've got all of the heavy lifting of my workshop build done, and now I'm left with lots and lots of space. But this is the danger. The more space you have, the easier it is for your stuff to sprawl in all directions. Whilst this is lots of space, I also have lots of hobbies. So I want to make sure I have room to 3D print, to laser, to sew, to paint, to do electronics, and all my other creative pursuits. To achieve this, I'm creating really tight zones in my workshop. And as part of this, I want to show just how little space you need to create an all singing, all dancing maker space for each speciality. Now, I've already toured you around my manufacturing zone, which is where some of my favourite machines live. And I'll cover all the other hobbies in the coming months. But today, I'm starting with my Nano Workshop for electronics. Here, I have allocated a 1 metre wide space for my entire electronics zone. Yet compressed in here is over 10 times that amount. Drawers are super important, and having clear wall space is also key. Both of these obviously need covering in the world's best organisational systems. Gridfinity in the drawers and openGrid on the walls. And I also like to use openGrid in the drawers where I'm storing bigger items, because then I can use a third system, NeoGrid, to keep things organised. We instantly have an intercompatible connection to the world's largest systems and hundreds of thousands of brilliant community solutions to just about everything that you can dream up. So Gridfinity in every drawer, openGrid covering the whole wall, properly open and community-centred ecosystems ready to populate. Now, everything I'm doing is optimised for speed. Just as I mentioned in my small craft room tour, which was before I built this whole workshop, the tools and parts that I use the most frequently will be on the wall so that I can grab them in seconds. There is another secret place too, which I'll come to. Then the second most frequently used items are in the top few drawers, and the lowest frequency items are in the lower drawers. And this means that I can maximise my making speed. And more importantly, I can just get in a state of flow rather than being interrupted by trying to find the various things that I need. It's worth noting that I haven't tried to pack everything into here. If there are really rare items that you need once in a blue moon, or even spare items, then just find somewhere out of the way to put them. Don't waste your precious space for a rare or a spare item. Take my filament reels. Yes, I've got loads in the workshop, but I don't need all of them to hand. So for this, I have a secret dungeon where I can store lots of duplicates or backup reels. Now, if you don't have a secret dungeon, you can store them in the attic, under the bed, or in the garage. Following this principle means that I can keep a decent stock nearby, but I don't fill my workspace with them. It's the best of both worlds. You don't run out when you need them, but you don't lose space either. Another huge benefit of these modular systems is that I don't actually need to get anything right. I can instantly adapt and move things around. I can take things from the wall and put them in the drawer if I start using them less, and vice versa. I can even tailor my workspace for a specific project if I want to, and then set it back afterwards to default mode. I talk more about the 4 best home organisation systems in other videos, so let's get into the electronic zone specifically. Now, this is a workspace. It's in the name. So I'm keeping a super strict rule. Nothing is allowed on the surface. This is always a mystical property of any table. The moment something gets placed there that doesn't have a home, poof, chaos ensues. So I've gone really hard on building lots of systems to avoid that. All my common items have a low friction place designed to be easy to use. It should be just easier to just slot it back than to leave it out. Now, this is my secret extra thing. I've also got this Gridfinity grid which wraps around my soldering mat, which helps zone off and contain this area. And it just gives me even more options for slotting things away and accessing them as quickly as possible. I started this organisation process by thinking through all of the common tasks that I undertake. I've got a screen powered by a Raspberry Pi, and this allows me to watch tutorials, look at schematics, flash over-the-air updates and anything else. On the wall and around the work surface, you can see lots of the most common tools that I use. There are just so many great little Gridfinity designs that people have made. I love these wire reel holders. They're Gridfinity compatible and look, they stack. Which reminds me, get plenty of wires in different colours. Just do it, because there's nothing worse than running out mid-project. I get particularly excited about mechanical models like this solder pen. It's such a clever little 3D print. And as with all the models I'm showing you, it's free and it works so well. Solder in, solder out. Solder in, solder out. Then I have my next most frequently used items here, in the easy access top drawers. This is where all of my components live. I've built this collection up over the years, and having it organised and visible is brilliant. Because in the past, I would buy duplicates of things that I'd either lost or I'd forgotten I'd already bought. But now, when inspiration strikes, I not only usually find that I already have the components I need, but I can easily see if something is missing. You can see that I've colour-coded these bins into categories, such as microcontrollers, sensors and modules, passive components and more. This is just using coloured Gridfinity labels that you can click into the bin, and I've added a transparent label on top using my trusty faux memo printer. This colour coding makes it much easier for me to just scan and locate what I need, rather than having everything neatly in Gridfinity bins, but arranged in a jumble. And when I have a few more spares, I simply pop another bin underneath. Electronics is one of those hobbies where the type of items you need can flex a fair bit depending on the precise project. Sometimes the project will be all about soldering and heat shrink, and the next it may be about crimping and screwdrivers. The brilliant thing about setting your bench up like this with openGrid and Gridfinity is that it can just change to suit the project. Then when you're finished, it can just change back. It's an endlessly adaptable workspace. Whilst I'm showing you this, a few shout outs to tools that I really like. Soldering station. As we were discussing on Discord the other day with Patreons and YouTube members, just get a good one. It's not worth suffering a cheap model if you're wanting to get serious. Sometimes there isn't a huge difference between a cheap and an expensive tool. This will really help you solder, and likewise having really good tips makes a difference. Get a good quality solder and flux too. There are also lots of great 3D prints out there to help with soldering. Like these extra hands are handy for holding chips whilst you're busy soldering. I also love this wire holder. Again, it just gives you a little more precision by being able to hold the wires you're soldering in place. And it stops you burning yourself constantly when you're trying to hold the wires with your fingers, I've heard. For soldering LEDs, I like to use the wire holder clamp again, along with these nice LED soldering jigs. For the soldering iron, I have a very bad habit of resting it on the nearest thing rather than putting it back in the holder, which is way too much effort. So rather than try to break a habit of a lifetime, I've decided to work with it by printing myself a little soldering iron holder. I also want to mention this Hotto Pixel drive. It's a great little driver for delicate work like this, or even fixing your 3D printer. Multimeter. You don't need to go completely bonkers here, but get a solid one. I've sadly lost the one that I had for more than a decade, probably because I didn't have a good organisation system. So I've treated myself to this new one, and the first thing that I did was print out multimeter probe tweezers, which allow me to use the probes with one hand. Ooh, and my solder sucker. Such a handy little tool for desoldering or fixing mistakes. Not that I ever make mistakes. You'll see there that there's also a little Gridfinity holder for it too. Now, moving quickly down the drawers, the lower the drawer, the less frequently used the items tend to be. And because it's so easy to reshuffle items, I can move them downwards if I find that I'm using them less. As it's all Gridfinity organised, it can be reorganised instantly as I need to, meaning my whole organisation system can be kept up to date as my interests change. For the bigger items, I like to use NeoGrid with openGrid to separate items, rather than spending hours printing huge Gridfinity bins. But for example, 10 years ago, Arduino might have been much higher up in my usage. And nowadays, it's more Raspberry Pis and ESP32s. So this is neat also, as if I want to clear out low-use items at any point in my workshop, I know just to start with the lower drawers. You can see these drawers contain an absolute sea of handy components and tools. Having a place for everything, neatly labelled and categorised, is probably the biggest velocity increase you can make. When you have what you need, you fly through projects. And when you don't, it's just a painful slog, hunting for that one little diode. So if there's one thing you take away from this tour, let it be this. Taking the time to organise your tiny components is a killer feature for your workshop. Let me know down below if there's any other pieces that I've missed. There's so much for electronics projects. I'm sure I've missed some. So please share your brains and experience. I'll be touring you through other nano workspaces like this in the future as I tackle my painting zone, my sewing space and beyond. I expect you'll see a surprising amount of the same components being used for multiple spaces, it's a great example of why systems like Gridfinity and openGrid are so handy. That bin that you use for diodes can just as easily be used for buttons. As always, I'll add links to all of the various gadgets and 3D prints on the video page on my site, link in the description. And until next time, hwyl fawr pawb.